Hello and welcome to the Phoenix Effect. I am Phoenix Jackson. I'm here to take you on a journey as we discover some everyday individuals making astronomical change for humankind. Our first stop, Colorado. We're in the Mile High City. Let's go. Meet Paul Hamilton. He has one of the largest art collections this side of the Mississippi with over 1,200 pieces. Did you know that Picasso stole some of his beautiful art ideation from Africa? I didn't know either, but when you see some of this beautiful art in Paul Hamilton's collection, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
Call this the rhino room.
The rhino room?
Because the shield is rhino hide. And then that's a Zulu club.
Those words aren't for sale, are they?
No.
I knew they weren't.
Yeah, that's part of the collection.
I'll just give a brief, quick thing on you and then ask you a question about
Okay.
How did you start this process?
This madness.
It's not madness, it's so
yes,
beautiful.
It is. You gotta, what is, now madness is not necessarily bad.
Okay. Well, if you call it.
This summer, I bought 100 pieces.
Okay, so.
100 pieces.
Wait, did you get rid of 100 pieces and then bought 100 pieces?
No,
you just added 100 pieces?
I bought 100 pieces. One piece would pay for all of the 100 pieces sold.
Okay, so then, well, we can't. We can't say anything at that point. We can't say anything.
Where to put everything.
Right.
So some of it's stacked on other things, But that's
we're gonna work it out. We're gonna work it out. So are you guys getting any of that banter?
We're rolling right now.
Okay,
Oh
perfect.
my goodness.
We're working it out early. We got it going. Okay, really quickly. You have. This is him. He was a state representative, District 9. I mean, wow.
5 points there.
Yes, and this was just during a just excellent history in Colorado, and just thank you for all of your service and your educational background and what you've done just as a teacher, as an educator for decades. I've known you for so many years.
Yes.
And we've been like family, and I've seen you grow and accrue this art. You've always had just this home with this historical wisdom and this historical physical representation of the African culture. But where did it start?
Well, I never thought that's what I was doing.
Okay, it just happened. It
just happened as, more and more. But I think I have to go all the way back to growing up, because I grew up in Pueblo, Colorado, 1941. There was just a handful of black folks there, but black was not called black. That was a nasty word to call somebody black. To call them African was even worse.
Right.
It was fighting words. But somehow I just couldn't believe that was what it was. As I went to college, I went to the University of Denver with no money. And I always wanted to know about Africa. I took some black history courses. They weren't called black history courses. I said I wanted to go to Africa. I learned how to fundraise. That's how I did that. And stay in college and so forth. And so I went to what's now Botswana, at that time as Bechuanaland Protectorate. And, we think of Africa as animals.
Right. And all indigenous.
All indigenous, all this craziness. But that whole trip changed how I looked at life. And so when I got back, then I began to want to know more and more. And then I meet Peter Natan, who had a gallery here in Denver and was an appraiser and had sold things to the museums and so forth. And he took me under his wing and began to teach me a little bit about African art. And he introduced me to traders that would come through Denver. Denver used to be a very popular place where people would come as they go to California or down to Santa Fe. Some of the traders, I got to be real friends with them, and they became family in many of them. And in the process of all this, the trader offered me 25 pieces.
And so that was your first bulk.
25 pieces at such a price, I went and borrowed the money.
So you borrowed to get your first cadre of art pieces.
Well, that was part of the process, and this happened many times as we went along. Mm-hmm. For example, this piece here, it's a Dogon piece, and the Dogon pieces are very valuable and really powerful. The Dogon people have some knowledge. We don't know how come they know all the things they know. Mm-hmm. They know about the invisible stars, Sirius B, and every 60 years they do a dance called the Siggy, and that's the orbit of this star. How did they know about this before the telescope. And the scientists have found that their information is totally accurate.
Well, that's where I look at, I'm reading a book right now by Malidoma Patrice Somé.
Yes.
Who you
been here.
Yes. And he talks about the indigenous mind and how their reality and their ability within shamanism and all these things are so different from the Western culture and Western society.
Yes.
And how now us as African Americans who are now westernized, it would be a complete break in mental space and mental clarity for us to even go back to the original indigenous mindset of thought and language and movement of our original selves, and how some of that ancient knowledge is just like things that were passed down, things that were tapped into because they were spiritually aligned with the planet, with the stars, with their environment. Which, of course, this is why I believe your work is so important, because our current generation is so disconnected from history and the culture. I mean, it doesn't matter who you are. You can be European, African, Asian.
A lot of people, when they see this, it depends. Some people, because of their religious beliefs, look at this work as kind of scary, the work of the devil, that type of thing. But then other people, particularly artists, get really enthused about it. So I've had artists stay in my house 6 hours.
Where would you like to leave this legacy of these 1,200 pieces, or just your collection altogether?
The ideal thing would be somebody come in and build a whole new structure just for this. That would be perfect in terms of the acoustics and the humidity and everything like that. There would be space for students to come and look and see and work. The artists would come, and you would have places for performances. You would have a museum-like type of atmosphere for some things, but some things that you could hold and so forth. There is a group here in Denver that has just got their nonprofit status. It's called the Denver African Arts Center, and they are in the midst of raising funds as we speak to buy my collection, and they're looking for a location here in Denver. Soon people will be able to come and see it and be able to really see it. So that's what I'd like.
Many years ago, Paul Hamilton became a client of the Phoenix Effect, and we helped him digitize the art experience, put some of his beautiful and most mesmerizing pieces online for purchase. You know what, when you have a collection like this, you want to share it with the world. And we are very excited that the full collection is going to have a new home in the near future. And I look forward to having my family and future generations to be able to come out to Denver to experience this very unique collection of artisan pieces.